Hello. Okay, let's get started. Uh, Maybe we can have a look of the assignment first. Send an announcement on the ad forum. Maybe you can have a check. But basically, I just repeat what I have said before. Especially for the report. Like for the report, we are going to use the public data sets. So I think most of you have already know it. So do not use your own data set. But if you want, you can also add your own data set into that public data set and do the analysis. And for some data in the public data set, we have some like imbalance of the data set. For example, a lot of area they have, let me show you in the image. As you can see in the map, I just plot the latitude and longitude. You can see the distribution is not balanced. So for each area, maybe you want to do some sampling, especially for this area, like this area. There are too much values in this area and this area. So maybe you can like remove part of it or do some sampling and make sure they have similar like density as this area. Yeah, let me just explain why should we do the sampling. Like for example, if you use the like standard deviation for this area, because we have lots of value in here, right? So the standard deviation usually will have very high value, and this area is also very high. But even like just imagine if this part, let's call it A, and this is B, even they have similar like performance, but because we don't have much sample in this area in the section A, so the standard deviation actually is low, but let's just imagine they are the same. But if you use this kind of method to evaluate the like signal strengths, it will be like lead you into the wrong direction. And for some area, you can see this area is empty, right? So what happened with this area? It is it a like coverage gap? I'm not pretty sure, but maybe you can go to the like real location and have a look. Maybe there are some like obstacles over there. Could be a playground, could be some like uh station over there. So just looking at the data set, you cannot get a full image. So sometimes you want to go to location and have a check of the reason. That doesn't really matter. I think you have already get my idea. Mm. not much thing to say, but the demo video. So many students are worrying about the demo video. Like, I recommend you just like do some preparation. For example, you can write down the script and then just read it. So it will be easier because it's recording, and you can just prepare some script and read it. And like also maybe you want to prepare some PowerPoint or other visualize tools. And what I recommend is maybe you can like cut your video so you can make it shorter. Just so you can just keep saying, and at the end of it, you just have a look of it and see if you can remove anything that is not really important. So editing for the demo video will be like helpful for your final marks. And another thing is about the like ChatGPT, because I know lots of us are using ChatGPT to write the reports. It's okay, but for the uh, assignment, maybe it's not a good idea to use it because not mentioning about the plagiarism, because sometimes the ChatGPT just give you a wrong idea or just generate some random stuff that is not reliable. So what I recommend, you can use the ChatGPT to help you to like polish your report, but don't use ChatGPT to help you write it. You just otherwise it will be very wordy. Like you just have one sentence, but the ChatGPT will write a whole paragraph, and it doesn't make any sense. Like doesn't help us to like give you the mark. So just make your report very like clear and short. It will be fine. So you don't worry about like the length of the report. So what happen if I only have 2 page? As long as you can like do everything correctly, the length is not a important stuff. Okay, so that's the assignment. Just feel free to ask any question if you have any like doubt about the assignment. Yeah, but the general idea is just like pretending you are a professional networking engineer and try to submit a report for your client. And the key thing is analysis and recommendation. So, so I think most of you have done the analysis pretty well. So just the recommendation, just make it professional or like put the proof and put these articles or textbook content to prove your idea, and you should be fine. And don't worry about the like be creative because I know it's very hard to be creative in this part. So even you just use the like state of art method without any creative, you can still get full marks. Okay, let's have a look of the lab. Gesture. Gesture detection with Wi-Fi signal strength. I think it's a good idea to share one article beforehand, which is this one, wider. This paper like it's introducing how to use Wi-Fi to detect the gesture. Let me find some visualized content for you so you can easily understand what are we talking about today. That's not in here. It's y dash 3.0. It's another like research project starting by 5 years ago and published 4 years ago. So it's kind of mature technology right now. As you can see, what are they doing is they are using the Wi-Fi signal. This is the CSI data. And then this is the gesture behind this CSI data. So just imagine they use the Wi-Fi router to capture your gesture. And I remember they have 6 different gesture in here. You can have a look of their website and understand what they're doing. It's pretty interesting because in the future you will be able to control uh, your like television or air conditioning or lighting in your home by just waving your hand without install any other device because you already have your router in your home. So in the Lab8, it's quite straightforward. Just use your gesture. You need to design 2 different gesture to play with your own mobile device. Let me go in here. Let me show you here. So it's like this. This is your mobile phone. And it's your AP. So you use your mobile phone to create an access point. And then this is your PC. It's running Wireshark if you are using Wireshark or network monitor 3.4. And then you just sitting in front of your mobile phone again, and then you can perform some gesture in front of the mobile phone. Does it make sense? And you can just keep a distance, let's say 2 meters. So the distance, you can try to change the distance and see if you can get a difference here. And then like when you perform the gesture in front of your mobile phone and you do the like capturing with your PC, you will be you will be able to see some like fluctuation on the signal strength. Let me see if I can get some example here. Okay, great. So I'm using my Arduino to do the demonstration. Please allow me to have 1 or 2 minutes to set it up. Need to change the configuration of my. Yeah, and let me show you my device. I open my camera here. So this one is an Arduino, and they have the like capability of connecting to a Wi-Fi. And then I try to use my mobile phone to create a hotspot and ask my Arduino to connect it to it and show the signal strength immediately. But it seems it does have some problem to connect to my mobile phone. Let me change my device name. Yeah, it seems doesn't connect it to it. Let me figure out the reason. Give me a sec. Yes, let me show it like while the Wireshark first. So uh, because I'm using Windows, what I'm going to do, yeah, but I'm sharing my screen. If I connect to my mobile phone, it will be disconnected. It's a bit awkward. But let me just pretending I'm doing this one and show you how to do it. Yeah, so because using Windows, then I open network monitor. Then I just select the Wi-Fi, only select the Wi-Fi because we just care about the Wi-Fi stuff. And we can just start capturing. Make sure you connect it to the correct access point created by your mobile phone. And then you can see a lot of data flow here. Then you can just, for example, if this is my mobile phone and I connect it to it, so I can just perform some gesture. For example, this one, push and pull, push and pull. And then you can also try to like wave your hand and control the frequency between it. Then you will be able to see some like fluctuation on the signal strengths. And for example, you design one gesture, push and pull at first, just like push and pull. Then you just stop it and then open this one with the Wireshark. Like you can just save it, save as, and file name is push and pull. And we can analyze with Wireshark or just open this one with CSV file. Yeah, this is the file. You can see we do have some signal strength, right? We just apply a filter, maybe the IP address, it's not enough. Maybe apply another filter, like receive, apply as a filter, receive. Yeah, the destination. We have lots of signal strengths here because I'm currently connected to my router, so my gesture doesn't affect the value of the signal strengths. And you can just export as a CSV file like we did in Lab8 and pull and pull. Then we can open the CSV file with any software like Excel. Then with this one, we have the time and the signal strengths, right? We simply copy these two columns and remove the units in this one. So just go to the data, text the columns with a space, next, and we do not care about these units. So the signal strength is like this, and we can just simply plot a line chart. Like, this one is not correct, but the idea is similar. You can see the orange one is the RSSI, right? And the blue one is the time. It should be x-axis. I made a mistake in here. So I think maybe I need to change the value and then redo it. No, it's not correct. So I just do it in this way. I remove the time, but you need to make sure the x-axis is the time. Okay. So you can see there's no fluctuation for the gesture because I didn't do it in front of the router. So if you can try to perform some gesture that may cause like specific pattern in this graph. So what I recommend is have a check of this website, like this website, y 3.0. I already sent it in the chat. So you can have a look. What kind of gesture are they using? And you can try them all and choose two of the best and do your report. Let me see if I can use the Arduino right now. So I think you already get the idea, right? So what I recommend is when you generate this graph, maybe you want to have like two or three different gestures, so we can clearly see the gaps. Like when you do the gesture, you can say, the first 5 seconds I perform gesture one, gesture and gesture, and do nothing. The the pattern here is not correct. Actually, you should have some fluctuation here. Like would be something like very similar pattern like this, and this side should be the same because you are performing the same gesture like this. Is that okay? For how long do we have to do the gesture? Like you can put it in like 3 seconds, and this 3 seconds, and you wait for 3 seconds, and you do it twice or 3 times for each gesture. Or you can make it longer, doesn't matter. That's it. Yeah. So uh, the script can now show the signal strength. Like I use my mobile phone to connect to the Arduino. So this is my mobile phone. This is the Arduino. You can see the fluctuation on the value. Like when I move towards each other, you can see the value is fluctuating between 32 or the minimum value should be around 30, right? Yeah, it's around 32 right now. And what if I move them away? You can see the value is fluctuating, right? It's around 50. So I just put my Arduino like on the table and just hold my mobile phone. So the value should be pretty constant, like 55, 55, 53, right? So now I perform one of the gesture, like waving my hand. Did you see the fluctuation? Now it's 53, right? Again, and I wave my hand, then wave my hand. Oh, it's stuck on the minus 47. I think it does have some error with the script. Maybe I need to restart it. Yeah, but you can see like when I wave my hand, the signal strength does have some change. So that's the basic idea of how to use the like Wi-Fi to detect the gesture. Yeah, I think my hotspot is disconnected, and that's the reason. Yeah, but anyway, let's just leave it here. I think that's all for the lab. You can have a check of the website by yourself and design your two gesture. So what we need to do for the week week 8 is the just to submit the reports about your hand gesture. So maybe you can take some picture or just get one of the image from the website. You are saying that I'm using this kind of gesture, or you can just have a very short demonstrate on image about the gesture. So design two gestures in your report, and then Wireshark screenshot of the ISS values, and then plot the ISS time series, like what I did in here. So what you're going to do is just include two different gesture signal strengths plot in your report. And if your gesture like have very obvious pattern, that would be a great gesture. So just make sure the gesture can affect the signal strength, obviously. And yeah, that's it. So the week A lab is just like this. Is that okay? For Mac, how can we get a signal strength? You can use the sniffer. Yeah, so you don't need to connect it to it. You just use your mobile phone. Uh, so in this way, I reckon you may need three devices. Like you have, for example, you have two mobile phone. You just use one of the mobile phone to connect to the other one, and then you use your Mac to do the sniffing mode, and make sure this mobile phone is playing a video, so it will be able to like create some traffic between each other, right? So when you play a video or play a song, then you can perform some gesture and use your laptop to capturing the traffic. And let's see how it goes. Or if you have a Raspberry Pi or the Arduino, that will be easier. But you can just try with your computer at first. And yeah, just let me know if you have any trouble. Yeah, I will stop the recording right now to make it short.